Hey everyone, welcome to the Little Shop of Hoarders and the PDX Picker channel. I am Chris. We're going to pull some orders that have sold for me on eBay. Also want to briefly talk about a topic that on one hand really bums me out, but on the other hand, if you just think of it in a different way, it's totally okay. So right after the intro song, let's get into those orders and that topic.
Don't know why that kind of stuff you throw away. I'll sell on eBay.
All right, so we're going to have to combine a couple of days of videos here, so that we'll start with some orders that have sold for me on eBay. Pretty okay couple of days. This is the last of my orders pulled from basically Monday. We'll start off with an estate sale find. One of those things where I didn't find very many things at the estate sale. No, that's not true. This is the estate sale where I found a whole bunch of Patagonia stuff. Quite a few good items, but then I also found this. They're relatively high priced. This was not high priced. This is a Nutella Kobe Bryant promotional mouse pad. Bought that for $3. I think it came out in around the year 2000 or so it is vintage. And that sold for $24 plus shipping. Yeah, it's just a little mouse pad, kind of crazy. And follow that up with kind of a surprise. That was, I bought these just recently. I mentioned that I found for $5 total, I found this Oregon Scientific thermometer, and then the thermo sensor. Normally the thermo sensors are the things that sell for good money and quickly. This hasn't sold yet, actually. This has sold. I didn't think this was going to sell at all. I almost just recycled it, but I looked it up, and for whatever reason, they sell. So $18.90 free shipping on that one. Like I mentioned, I didn't even think this was going to sell at all, so the fact that it sold before the thermo sensor is quite surprising. And for okay money. Talk about, or grab one more item and then we'll get into that topic. This is cool, super vintage. I can't remember where I picked this up, but it was $1. I think it was at an estate sale last year. It took quite a while to sell. It's a little bit niche and unique, and I'm sure that was the reason why it took so long. All right, because it had been so long since I'd listed it, it was at the very bottom of the box, so it's kind of hard to get out, but it's this right here. This is a Barbie and the Rockers, like child's belt for like a play belt. From 1987, not in superb condition. There were some other accessories that came with this that I don't have, but picked this up for $1, and that eventually sold for $17 plus shipping. Just super cool vintage 80s piece that, like I said, relatively niche. Not a lot of them listed. Well, no other ones listed, but not a lot have sold even over like the last 10 years. I think maybe one other one has sold, so relatively rare. The topic for the day is, like I mentioned, something that just kind of bums you out if you think about it, but just kind of have to change your perspective on it. And so, you know, I recently have released a video talking about how I had a record-selling month for me. The month of November 2024, I had over $6,000 of sales for a part-time reseller like me, about 10 hours a week, maybe 15 on some of the busier times. That was a great accomplishment. It was the first time I'd crossed over the $5,000 barrier, and then I just blew through that and crossed over the $6,000 barrier. So I was pumped about it, feeling really good, and then I opened up my YouTube to watch some of my other reseller content that I like to watch, and that's when the feelings of wow came over me. I saw a video from one of my favorite YouTubers, Resell Mania, Mikhail over in Bozeman, Montana. He had a video talking about just this past weekend. It was actually, I think, the Black Friday weekend, so right after Thanksgiving. He had over $4,000 of sales in that one weekend alone. So I'm over here like, woo, $6,000 for the month. I am amazing. I mean, I know in the grand scheme of things, I'm not amazing, but for me, I felt really good about that. And then I see Mikhail's video, $4,000 in one weekend. It was really crushing, really defeating for a while there. I just kind of felt like, wow, I suck at this. He happens to live in an area that with just some crazy good thrift stores. If you haven't watched his videos, go ahead and go over there and at least watch some of his thrifting videos. There's a few thrift stores in his area. He lives in a real high cost of living area in Bozeman, Montana, yet there are quite a few thrift stores, even the Goodwill, that price things very reasonably, and some of them insanely reasonably. And so, yes, he has a great sourcing avenue to get a lot of great items to put in his inventory. And that maybe isn't the same for me, but it was kind of heartbreaking. It was kind of a slap in the face of like, my gosh, what are you doing, Chris? What are you doing to get so excited about $6,000 and he's over there selling $4,000 in, 1/10 of the time. But after a little bit, like I said, I just kind of reframed my thinking. There's a couple of major things that you need to remember. If you're at all in this situation where you are comparing yourselves to maybe even me, who is, I do okay as a part-time reseller, but I'm not breaking any records. If you're comparing yourself to other reseller friends you may have, if you're comparing yourself to other resellers on YouTube, stop. Don't do it anymore. Comparison is usually the thief of joy. There's some sort of saying along that line. But the only person you should compare yourself to is yourself. That is the important reminder that I needed to remind myself of. This is true in a lot of avenues. This is true in the gym. You don't want to compare yourself, your results to any of the other people there because they have a completely different, maybe had a completely different path in the gym to where they are today versus where you are. Maybe they've been working out for 25 years straight and this is your 25th day in the gym. Comparison is a thief of joy. Do not compare yourself to them. Just compare yourself to yourself. How are you doing today versus how you've been doing in the past? Are you in the gym more than you were before? Are you lifting more weights than you were before? Whatever it is. Just compare yourself to yourself. And the same is true not only in the gym, but here in the reseller world as well. I can't compare myself to Mikhail for a variety of reasons. Not the least of which is he's a full-time reseller and I'm part-time. But it is not a healthy way to go about yourself. If you're going to compare yourself, only compare maybe processes or tactics or techniques, but not necessarily everything like sales, because sometimes it's apples and oranges when you are comparing yourselves. And so you're only going to tick yourself off. You're only going to bum yourself out. You're not really helping yourself out by comparing that type of result. So I reminded myself of that, and I started to feel better. But it also did kind of light a fire in me. I want to do better. I want to get to that point where I could sell $4,000 in a weekend. I don't know if it's possible being a part-time reseller, but it probably is. I just need to find the right inventory and sell it at the right price. So that's my reminder. Stop comparing yourself to others. Just focus on your own tactics and techniques to improve yourself moving forward. Let's go ahead and pull a couple more orders here. Big item sale of the day. Bought this for $20 at a garage sale over the summer and didn't list it until August. So it's kind of the end maybe of fishing season. Right here, Striker, Garmin Striker. It's a fish finder and new in the box. Had never been used. And that sold for $99.96. I sent out an offer and somebody accepted it. So 3.5-inch fish finder with built-in GPS and chirp sonar. So big sale of the day on that one. Really good. And then we follow that up with the lowest sale of the day. I had put out a video a while back about how I found this great new way to source, or have I stumbled upon the new, exciting way to source. And it was a joke. It was tongue-in-cheek. And basically I was finding stuff on the side of the road or discarded on the ground. Basically litter. I sold a Oakley sunglasses case that I found on the side of the road for like $12. And then I found this near a school when I was disc golfing. Finally, there it is. So literally also litter. It's this Good to Grow lid. It's a Bumblebee transformer lid. So picked that up for free. Sold that for $7.92, free shipping. So So essentially made $1 or $2 off of that one, but at least it's something. Sent out a 5% offer on this and it sold. I was honestly hesitant as to whether this would sell at all. It's this Baby Jesus blow mold. Really mischievous looking Baby Jesus. I don't think it's that old. It's not lit. So it has a lot of negatives going for it. Picked that up for $5, but it did sell. Sent an offer out and it sold for $23.70 plus shipping. So somebody has a nativity scene. I guess they just needed a Baby Jesus. I felt kind of bad about this next item. It was on my, I think 40% off sale, originally listed at $20, and so it was down to $11.97. And again, I haven't taken the time to turn off the offers on my 40% off items. So this still had best offer available, and somebody sent me a really nice message, said, hey, would you consider $10 on these? I declined and just said, you know, I'm sorry, it's already 40% off. They went ahead and bought it right after that. It's this pair of Nast jeans. Picked these up for about $4 at the thrift store. Took a long time to sell. Sold another pair for $20, but this one made it into the sale, so $11.97 on that. Hopefully the buyer won't hold that against me, being a little bit of a stickler on the price. But at least they bought it. Sometimes people are just like, yeah, if you won't take $10, I'm just not going to buy it from you, which, again, that's fine. Totally fine. Last item for this day, and then we'll put in some additional footage from a different day after this. Nice pair of buckle jeans sold. It says they're in here. I don't think they are. So that's not a good sign. Okay, good. Here they are. These are new with tags. The Alec BKE buckle jeans. Buckle has a lot of good jeans. Those being new with tags. Kind of a weird size, 27.31. Originally these sold for, the MSRP on them was $69.95. I don't even know if they make this model anymore, but sold that for $29.96 plus shipping. I think that also was in an offer. Let me just look. I'll look up real quick on my Reseller Genie how much I paid for those. So I did pay up for those, $10.49. But $10.49 into $29.96, not too bad. So, all right, here we go into that footage from another day. But let's go ahead and get started on what sold. First item is a pair of shorts that I picked up at the outlet, Goodwill outlet last year. A lot of my items today are clothing related, and this one is starting off that trend. We had a pair of shorts that I picked up, like I said, at the Goodwill outlet last year. I actually owned this exact pair. So I owned this exact pair, I owned a pair exactly like these, not that exact pair, when I was about 10 years ago. So when I saw these at the outlet, I just thought it was kind of crazy. They're a pair of Columbia shorts, nylon lining. I guess I'd probably call them hiking shorts. So here they are right here. And those sold for $10.50 plus shipping. I took an offer on that. So, again, it's the Goodwill outlet, so I paid probably around $1.50 for that. So not great, but not horrible. This next one is definitely better. This is also an item I picked up at the Goodwill outlet. It is an Orvis pullover. And so I'll probably paid right around $2 for this. It's their signature quarter zip long sleeve sweater. So that one sold for $18 plus shipping. Took a little offer on that one, had it listed for $21.95. Somebody offered me $15. I countered at $18 and they accepted. So that one's a little bit better. In terms of price. And we're going to move along to the big money item of the day. My son actually found this at the Salvation Army up in Seattle when I was there in December. And it is a Estee Lauder Intuition perfume. It's new in the box there, new open box. And that sold for $144.99 free shipping. I don't know, maybe about $5 or $6 to ship that. So that was a magnificent find because I paid $6, maybe $5 for it. So they had that marked very inexpensively. So very good pickup. Definitely be on the lookout for Estee Lauder Intuition perfume. If you do see it out in the wild, that was certainly a winner for sure. This gonna go to with the next item. So these sold relatively quickly for me. Another Goodwill outlet find. Pair of Nike Air Max Torch 4s. So this particular model is definitely a good one to pick up if you find it. It has a very high sell-through rate. I listed these are size 14, so they're very big. Very, it's not typically a size you're gonna want to pick up unless it's a really good shoe like this. But even on top of that, this kind of has some condition issues. You can see that the plastic, so the swoosh is kind of like made of plastic. It's got some black marks on it on both sides. Other than that, though, the shoe is in very good condition, but because of the size and those black marks, I marked it down. I only sold it for $25 plus shipping, but probably paid $3 for those, so not too bad. This next item I listed yesterday, and it sold within probably 4 or 5 hours. I had somebody who really wanted it but didn't want to pay full price, so I had it listed for $18.95, and I eventually took an offer for $15. It is a Ralph Lauren classic fit buttoned down shirt, kind of this plaid pattern here. Picked it up at the outlet again, so probably another it's kind of crazy that all of my items lately that are selling are from the outlet, but that's also partially because that's the things that I'm listing. Trying to go through my death pile and pull out stuff from the outlet that I've picked up over the last 4 or 5 months that I haven't listed yet. So that's a nice quick sale on that one. This next item is a book on tape that I got at, book on CD, there it is, that I got at my local thrift store. And I was really excited when I first bought it, and because I bought it for $2, and it consistently sells for about $45. It is this Diana Gabaldon, An Echo in the Bone novel. It's a long fantasy novel, I think. Definitely a bolo if you happen to see that anywhere. Very good sell-through rate. Very good price, or sales price on that. However, I didn't do a great job of looking at the item before I bought it and took it home. When I took it home to list it, I realized that one of the CDs was missing. So I put that in the listing, made a note in the title to please read description, and made a note that it was missing, and it still sold after some time for $15 plus shipping. So not too bad on that one. And then these next 2 items are one I listed a long time ago, and then the other one I just listed today, and it sold within a matter of minutes, which probably means I underpriced it, but maybe not. This next item is another Goodwill outlet purchase, and it is a pair of cut from the cloth Catherine boyfriend jeans. That's where it says Cat and Boyfriend. This is that Cut from the Cloth logo. I would say that Cut from the Cloth is not that great of a brand. I mean, they have some particular models or whatever of jeans that sell decently. This one is still, I think, on the tail end of the skinny jean type of skinny jean low rise type of look, so it's not quite as definitely not as in as it used to be. But I sold that one for $12 plus shipping. Picked it up for, you know, right around $2. And then the last item that sold, like I said, I listed it today. Picked this up actually at a garage sale over the summer, also up in Seattle. Sold a couple items today that I picked up in Seattle. So this is an old vintage REI duffel bag. Just a simple red duffel bag. Nothing fancy about it. Picked that up for $2, and it sold within minutes for $24.95. I guess I could have asked more for it, or maybe somebody was just desperate for a red REI vintage duffel bag, and as soon as they saw it, they were going to buy it anyway. But that was a good pickup for sure. So those are the sales for the day. Thanks so much for watching. Please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and we will see you next time. Take care. Have a good one.